God gave me this platform.
I want to talk to Mike Lindell.
I already know I'm going to win.
China did our vote.
No, they're not lumpy pillows.
Biden and Harris would say, hey, we're here to protect the country, and resign.
Mike Lindell's a conspiracy.
But you haven't.
Just forget about the evidence.
You're an asshole.
This was attacked.
Asshole.
The MyPillow CEO and lumpy pillow salesman is not a fan of early voting, ballot harvesting, or really anything to make voting simpler and more accessible to more people, which is now at odds with what the National Republican Committee, the NRC, is doing. They're begging people, Republicans, to go out, to vote early, to vote absentee, vote by mail, do whatever you can to make your voice heard on Election Day. That, unfortunately, has ruffled Mike's pillows. And so he decided to go on his Wednesday night show and take aim at the RNC's voter outreach plan.
And if in that RNC, by the way, too, I'm going to say this now. They can sit there and say, oh, let's go ballot harvest and vote early like the Democrats. Rubbish. You do not vote early. You vote same day, everybody. I will be preaching that right up until the election day. You vote same day. It's harder for them to cheat. Well, Mike, what if something happens like it did in Arizona where 242 machines went down? Well, you know what? The public won't stand for this. Why would you use the machines if you're worried about that? Well, why don't we start voting? Why don't we have a 4-year vote? It's just a continuous vote, everybody.
Talk about going to extremes. Why don't we just have a 4-year vote? Okay, that's, nobody advocates for that. Okay, early voting is just that, a couple days early. Ooh, wow, oh my God. Anyway, so here's the thing. Early voting is completely fine. There's no fraud involved in early voting. There's also no fraud involved in mail-in voting. That's completely secure. Ballot harvesting. Oh, the ballot harvesting. That's also completely fine. There's no proof of any fraud, any significant numbers of fraud in any of these methods of voting. They're safe and secure. And again, you have fraud rates of like 0.00000000025% in some of these, pretty much most of these voting methods. It's just infinitesimally small amounts of voter fraud. So here's the thing. Mail-in ballots, by the way, before they're counted, they're verified by election workers. And if there are any that are suspected of fraudulent activity, they are set aside for further investigation. They're not counted. And when appropriate, are even referred to law enforcement for prosecution. So we have very secure elections, okay? Again, early voting, no fraud in that either. And there's no advantage given to either party when it comes to early voting. What it does is just makes it so that people who cannot make it on election day, for whatever reason, are still able to cast their ballot, to participate in the great democracy that we have here in this country. Ballot harvesting also allows for families with loved ones who might not be able to turn in their ballots in person, be able to vote, and it makes it easier. You just get a representative, usually a member of your family, to collect the ballots of your family members and to turn them in. Oh, wow, ooh, crazy. Think about somebody who has a family member who might be physically disabled, or think of someone who can't leave the house because, they might not have childcare. And one of these methods of voting helps them. Tons of situations where they are helpful and completely legitimate. Again, without evidence of any widespread fraud. It'd be pretty stupid to get rid of it. But you know where I'm going with this one, okay? Mike Pillow, stupid. Okay, not very smart.
You idiot.
All right, so that's what he is. Look, Republicans benefit just as much from expanded voting as Democrats do. The American people benefit from these. Now, as far as Republicans are going, they need as many voters as they can get, and they understand that, all right? The RNC is currently in panic mode. They know that they need to get out the vote, and this is one of the ways to do it, and I think it's totally fine. And the RNC, they're not going to stop because of idiots like Mike Pillow, right, that are going to rage against it. Old Mikey here, I got news for him. He's no longer useful. He's a useful idiot. Now he's just an idiot. All right? Look, every prediction that he's made has been clearly debunked, has fallen flat. The man is going broke, and I think that's why the main reason why the Republican Party has no more use for him, right? There's a massive defamation lawsuit hanging over his head, all right? So that's why Fox News doesn't want really anything to do with him, because he, it goes on Fox, he's going to spread nonsense conspiracy theories. They don't want that. They don't want to get sued. They had a $787 million settlement. They don't want to do this again, all right? So, hey, if anything, his threats against the RNC, which are headed by Laura Trump, by the way. So, Ronna McDaniel, gone, replaced by Laura Trump, and purged of all non-Trump elements. Okay, so they're completely 100% Trumpian, all right? This, having MyPillow come out and criticize them, you think that's going to go well? No. It's going to go very poorly. It's going to backfire spectacularly. So, hey, Mike, keep it up, man. Keep doing it. You're doing great.